Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're creating self-portraits inspired by the story, I Am Enough. We are going to be learning how we can change our papers that we painted with our unique skin tone with that color mixing guide, mixing yellow, red, brown, black, and white to get the right shade of brown for our skin. We're going to use that skin tone paper to now draw a self-portrait. A self-portrait is a picture of the most awesome kid you know, and that's you. You are going to be creating a self-portrait. Now, there is a self-portrait drawing guide on your table. You'll notice in that pocket, there are actually several papers. It's not just a front and back. If you want more ideas, you can actually pull the paper out of that pocket carefully, look through it, and then make sure you return it to the pocket after if you use it. Otherwise, just keep it in the pocket and use the front and back. You're going to practice your self-portrait either in your sketchbook or on a whiteboard. It is up to you which one you practice on first, but it's always a good idea to practice. I'm following the self-portrait drawing guide, starting with the shape of a U, adding the neck and shoulders, no tiny skinny lollipop necks because then your head would fall over, adding ears, shoulders, and then a hairline. Everyone's hair is attached to their head with a hairline. It's not just sitting right on top of it. We all have eyes, eyebrows, noses, and mouths. Sometimes eyelashes and details like that can be added too, or accessories to your self-portrait. So practice drawing. It's up to you if you want to do your sketchbook or on a whiteboard. I'm going to practice using a tracer. That's also your decision as an artist if you would like to use a tracer to get the shape of your head, neck, and shoulders, or if you want to draw it yourself. Just make sure if you draw it yourself, it has to be at least as big as the tracer is. So it's easy because now I can just add the hairline. I can add whatever kind of hair I want to add, whatever one looks like mine. Of course, this doesn't. I'm just using an example from the drawing guide. And whatever kinds of eyes. You could be making a funny face. You could have your eyes closed, eyes open. You could be smiling. You could show your teeth. There's so many different ways to show your unique self. I'm going to practice a few different ways on my whiteboard, which is fun because I can always turn my whiteboard marker around and use the eraser and try again if I don't like it. This is a good way to figure out my best thing that looks like me. There might be somebody on the paper that you like to draw, but maybe it doesn't quite look like you or represent you. You are enough as who you are, and we want to draw the unique features that make you. If you have unique hair or something on your face like freckles or maybe some glasses, that would be a great time to draw it. There's so many different ways to draw even your nose, but the simplest way I say is either an L nose, a U nose, or an N nose. I like drawing noses like that because it's really easy to remember and just like the letters of the alphabet. I can practice different hair. I can easily make this into a boy by taking off some of the eyelashes, changing the smile a little bit, and changing the hairline. All I have to do right there is add a different kind of hairline. And now it looks like a boy instead. So it is totally up to you how you make your self-portrait. But look, if I change the eyebrows, it totally changes the emotion. All of a sudden, he looks angry. So make sure that you're paying attention to how that person feels and how they show that facial expression as well. Once I think I've had enough practice, I can start on my paper. That's that one painted paper we did already, so make sure that you start with pencil. We don't want to draw on the tracer itself. That's not good. These tracers are used again and again, year after year. So please make sure if you decide to use a tracer that you're not drawing on it, just using it to trace around it, holding it down with your non-drawing hand and tracing it with your drawing hand, then removing it and putting it back because you don't need it anymore. Now that I have my traced head, shoulders, ears, I can add my chin there, add a couple details to my ears, and add my hairline. Mine looks kind of just like the one in the guide. It goes across my forehead for a side part. But if your part's somewhere else, that's what you would think about and how to draw your hair. Then I'm going to draw my eyes. There's so many different ways to draw your eyes, but I like to start out with a circle and then put like an arched rainbow line on top and the eyebrows to match the same kind of arched rainbow line. I'm going to do a U nose, a U smile, add some lips. Maybe I could add a nose like that if I wanted to. I don't have to. Maybe I'll add a headband to my hair. Maybe I'll add something on my shirt. It's totally up to you what you decide to do on your self-portrait. Just do your best. Make sure you draw light with pencil just in case you need to erase. After we draw with pencil and you're happy with your lines, then we will trace. You know we always trace and erase. I'm going to use my thick Sharpie. Now you'll see I have oil pastels, but I'm not going to use them yet. I'm going to use my Sharpie to outline my pencil lines that I liked the most. So now that I'm happy with my self-portrait, I'm outlining my pencil lines with Sharpie very carefully. Notice I'm not coloring anything in. I'm not coloring anything with my self-portrait, just outlining my pencil lines and adding some details that make me unique. These are called contour lines. It's just like making a coloring book version of you. I'm not coloring anything in with my Sharpie. I'm just tracing over the lines that I then in with oil pastels. Now, if I had missed any of my lines with my Sharpie and maybe there was a lot of pencil marks on here, then I would want to trace and then erase. But because I got my lines pretty good, I can now start coloring with oil pastels. I'm only going to color the details, like maybe add the color to my eyes, my lips, my earrings, my headband, my hair, and my shirt. I am not going to color in my skin. Why? Why wouldn't I color my face or my neck? Oh wait, we already did that. Last week we spent all the time mixing up the colors of us to create our own unique skin tone. So there's no need to color in your face or your neck. That's already done. We're only coloring the other things like your hair. Now if you can't quite find your right hair color, just like we had to mix the paints to make the unique color of us, you can also mix the oil pastels. Try to find your most realistic hair color. I have blonde hair, so yellow was my closest color, but my hair is not yellow, so I add a little bit of brown to it, just drawing some brown lines lightly on it, and that blends together to create more of a dirty blonde color. You could do the same thing with brown and black. You could do it with brown and then a little bit of yellow. That's up to you with what color hair you have. You could do yellow and a little bit of red if you have like a strawberry blonde hair, or just brown or black. That's up to you and what color hair you think you have. Notice that with my oil pastels, I'm making sure I'm coloring inside my lines, not getting any oil pastel on my neck or my face because they aren't very easy to erase. They don't really erase, so don't try to erase them. I'm coloring in my lines, but also coloring thick and thirsty, not thin and wimpy. Thin and wimpy would be if I could see the color of the skin through the shirt. I'm making sure I color nice and thick and thirsty so I can't see any of that paper underneath. If I have time and I finish, I can cut out my portrait. I'm making sure that I'm doing baby shark chomps, not daddy shark chomps. Daddy shark chomps will make it so I accidentally cut off my face or my hair. I don't want that to happen. So notice, I'm using my non-cutting hand to turn the paper carefully as my cutting hand does little baby shark chomps all the way around my self-portrait. Very carefully turning the paper, cutting on my black Sharpie outline. Then I can throw away my scraps because I did an awesome job cutting, and I'm ready to put my name on the back if it's not already and put it in my table folder. We will finish these next week, artists. I can't wait to see your awesome selves.